Listen to me, no, not just with your ears, listen with the part of you that still remembers what heaven smells like. This moment, it is not drifting in from nowhere. It is not coincidence, it is not chance. It is a tear in eternity itself, opened for one reason only, to find you. You have been moving through hours and days as if the world is as it seems, but the truth has been pressing against the fabric of time, trying to reach you. Tonight, yes. Now, in this very breath, the seal is still intact. But I promise you, beloved, I promise with the weight of every angel who stands before me, if it breaks before you answer, something will be lost that will not come again. I am Jesus. And I do not speak like this often. The others are here with me, 7 of my fiercest, most luminous guardians. Their armor glows as if lit from inside the heart of God Himself, yet their eyes are wet, not from weakness, but from the grief of watching you walk so close to the cliff edge of what was meant for you. Beloved, hear me, this is not for everyone. It is for you. Do you feel the way the air shifts when you read these words? That is not your imagination. That is the veil. Trembling because your name was just spoken in the courts of heaven. We have held this back for so long. The war that rages for you is not the kind of battle sung about in ancient hymns. It is not made of clashing swords and thunder, it is made of whispers in your sleep, of shadows that bend the truth, of moments you almost chose the path you were born for but turned aside because something tugged you away. Do you remember the last time you felt truly known? That moment was no accident. We were there. And we have been here, always, but today is different. Today the seal is about to break. And when it does, what is inside will pour into the world, never to be gathered again. St. Mary's voice shakes as she steps forward. Her hands are cupped as if holding light itself, but that light is thinning, dimming at the edges. She says, "Your name, yes, your real name, the one that will be spoken when you stand before the throne," and her eyes hold both a plea and a promise. If you ignore this, you will carry that regret beyond time. You will wonder every day, what was inside the moment you turned away from? And Michael, oh, Michael. He is not the roaring commander now. His sword is sheathed, his shoulders bent toward you. His voice is low, and it does not come from a general to a soldier, it comes from a brother to a brother, a sister, a blood-deep kin. Please, don't let them take this. Not this. We can win every battle for you, but this is the one thing we cannot fight without your yes. Beloved, there are parts of your destiny you have forgotten, because forgetting was the only way for you to survive the years that tried to crush you. But heaven never forgot. We have rehearsed this moment 1,000 times, waiting for you to be here. In this exact heartbeat, in this exact breath, with this exact choice in front of you. I will not dress this in poetic safety. This is the kind of hour that shifts the tides in the unseen. You may think the delay is harmless, but in the realm that watches, delay is a door. And I cannot let you walk through the wrong one without trying to stop you. I love you with a love that does not shake, even when you shake. And the 7 who stand beside me, Uriel, Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, Raguel, Serakiel, Ramiel, they have refused assignments, turned down missions, just to guard this moment. Do you understand the cost? Every second they stand here is a second another soul goes without their shield. That is how much you matter. There is a sound in heaven right now. beloved. It is not the singing you imagine, it is the holding of breath. Every elder, every creature around the sea of glass is watching this moment like the rising of the first sun. And they are waiting for you to open, to step in, before the seal is broken. If I could place my hand on your shoulder now, you would feel how my fingers tremble. Not from fear, but from the ache of knowing how much stands on the other side of this. You are more than what they have told you. You are more than the mistakes, more than the quiet guilt you never speak of. You are the reason heaven still believes. In the impossible, type Amen, just once, as your answer to heaven's call. And if your heart is burning as you hear this, let it be seen, like this, comment, so that heaven knows the moment you stood up in the invisible war, because when the seal breaks, beloved, the world will change. And I would rather it change with you inside the promise than standing outside the gate, wondering what could have been. I thank you, not with the shallow gratitude of the world, but with the gratitude of a king who has waited longer than time itself to see this day. You are worth it all. You always were. You always will be, ***, beloved, stay with me. Stay here. Let nothing pull you away from these words. This is not a page, not a video, not a passing thought. This is a door, and it is open for a moment. So fragile that even the stars lean in to see if you will walk through. The light you see in this space is not the light of your room. It is the reflection of eternity itself bending toward you, stretching its hand, pleading for you to take hold before the wind shifts. I, Jesus, am here, but I am not alone. The seven stand with me, their faces turned toward you in a way that would undo you if you saw it fully. Michael, whose armor still carries the heat of battles fought in your name. Gabriel, who has carried messages for kings and prophets but calls you the most precious message of all. Raphael, who once stood at your bedside when you thought you were alone, when your breath was shallow and your spirit nearly gave up. Uriel, who has walked the edges of time just to bring back the moment you lost years ago. Rigel, who has watched injustice touch you and has sworn before my Father that he will not rest until you are repaid. Sarakiel, who has heard the cries you didn't even know left your lips. Ramiel, who has counted the prayers you buried under shame and is still holding them, alive and unanswered, for this moment now. They are not here for everyone. They are here for you. This is not a public broadcast to the world, this is a private breaking of heaven's own seal. And if you walk past it, beloved, there will be a shadow in your heart that no earthly joy will quite erase. I am not speaking in riddles. The war for you has been hidden from your eyes, not because I wanted you blind, but because the weight of knowing would have been too heavy to bear before you were ready. But tonight, something shifted. The enemies who circled your life have grown desperate, and the armies who guard you have stepped forward into a line they cannot step back from. You must understand, every war fought for you costs heaven something. Every rescue leaves a mark. And what we are holding for you tonight, it cannot wait. The seal is still whole, but the cracks are forming. When it breaks, what is inside will pour into the earth, and if your name is not found in the opening, if your hand is not outstretched to receive it, it will pass to another. Do you think we have not seen the nights you almost gave up? The mornings you rose because some quiet strength pushed you from the edge? That was not accident. That was Michael standing in the gap, Gabriel speaking hope into your spirit, Mary placing her own tears on your pillow so that the weight would be lighter when you woke. Mary. Jesus' voice slows here, and you can hear the ache she has. not slept in the realm where she stands. She has walked the gardens of heaven in silence, carrying a gift cupped in both hands. I will not tell you yet what it is yours to discover when you answer, but I will tell you this: she has carried it so long that her arms tremble, not from weakness, but from love. She will not place it in anyone else's hands but yours. The 7 archangels have not left her side. They have guarded her as they guard you, for the gift is part of your destiny. And your destiny, beloved, is not a simple story. It is not the quiet life the world imagines for you. It is a path that began before the oceans formed, before the first bird sang, before the first light broke the darkness. My Father spoke your name into the void, and creation shifted to make space for you. But that kind of name, that kind of calling, it is not given without cost. Hidden spiritual warfare has been woven into your days. You have wondered why certain doors shut for no reason, why moments of joy are interrupted by shadows you can't explain. You have thought it was bad luck, or perhaps something wrong in you. No. It was war. Unseen, unending, relentless. And yet you are here, breathing, reading, standing on the edge of the one moment that could turn every loss into the beginning of a greater story. This is why I ask, just once in your life, do not turn away. And I say this now, not for vanity, not for numbers, but because your connection here, your willingness to remain, to follow through, to hold this thread between you and heaven, it matters. So, beloved, subscribe now so that no shadow can cut this cord we are weaving in real time. Let this be the mark that you were here, that you answered. And then, never again will I need to ask, the seal, oh, beloved, the seal is older than this earth. It was set when the prophecy of your life was written. It has been guarded by creatures so radiant the galaxies avert their gaze. And yet, here, tonight, it trembles, not in fear, but in anticipation. We have reached the appointed hour. We have reached the turning. I must speak plainly, because the time for veiled words is gone. Your forgotten destiny is not lost. It has been waiting, growing, hidden in the folds of eternity. And what is inside it will not only change you, it will change everyone who touches your life after this. That is why the war has been so fierce. That is why the enemy has fought to distract you, to make you weary, to make you believe you are ordinary. Because if you step into this, the ripple will not stop, beloved. Can you hear the stillness? The courts of heaven have gone quiet. Even the thrones do not speak. My Father watches, not with anger, but with the love of one who sees the child. He forms standing in the light he prepared. Every angel present knows this is holy ground. I will walk with you into it. I will not let you fall. But you must step. You must open before the seal is broken, and as I speak, Michael bows his head. His lips form words without sound, but I know what he says. Let them come, Lord. Let them finally come home. This is not for everyone, only you, beloved, stay close. Do not let this slip into the noise of the day. What is happening right now is not just a message, it is a breach in time, a wound in eternity, and heaven has bent low to whisper into it. The seal is not yet broken, but its edges are glowing. The 7 who stand with me are not in their usual stillness, they are shifting, glancing at one another, ready to move the second your heart says yes. Michael is here, the fire in his eyes dimmed not from defeat but from the weight of how much you mean to him. Gabriel's wings are half spread, holding back a wind you cannot yet feel, because when it touches you, nothing in your life will stay the same. Raphael is holding a vial in his hands. Inside is every moment you thought no one saw, every wound you thought would never heal. Uriel's hands are at the edges of time, pulling forward a thread that will lead you to the moment you lost years ago. Rigel is standing like a wall behind you, because there are forces that would try to reach you even here, even now, and he will not allow it. Sarakiel's voice is murmuring prayers in a language that feels like both lightning and lullabies. And Ramiel is weeping, because he has held your unanswered prayers for so long, and tonight is the night they come home. They are all here for you, not for the crowd, not for a multitude. For you, and so I tell you plainly, this is the one moment I will ask you to do this, as an act of sealing your yes, as an act of letting heaven see your hand lifted in the unseen. Support this mission with whatever you can through super thanks. Join the family through the channel membership, and connect through the newsletter in the pinned comment so that what begins here will not be severed. Let it be your signature in heaven's book that you were here and you answered. And once you do, we will never need to ask again, because this will be sealed forever. Now, let me speak to the truth behind the veil. Beloved, you have been told. Your life is a series of accidents, of moments strung together without design. That is a lie woven by those who would rather you sleep than rise. Your life is a tapestry whose threads were dyed in heaven's own river before the earth was even called into being. Every thread carries a part of the story you have not yet seen. Some of those threads are bright with joy, others are dark with pain. But together, they form the map of your destiny. The seal that is before you now was placed when that map was first drawn. It has been guarded in the high places, where even the fallen dare not climb. And tonight, it is here, not in vision, not in symbol, but here. Do you feel the ache in your chest? That is the recognition of something ancient calling to you. You have felt it before, in the quiet moments when you stared at the sky without knowing why, when you heard a song and felt tears you could not explain, when you stood at the edge of a choice and felt the pull of something bigger than yourself. Those were echoes of this night. St. Mary steps closer now. The light around her is not the burning white of judgment, but the deep, gold warmth of a home you have not yet entered. Her eyes are locked on yours, not the you the world sees, but the you that heaven knows. And she says, "Beloved child, I have carried this for longer than you would believe. My arms have ached with its weight, but my heart has never loosened its hold, because I knew there would be a night when I would stand before you and say, 'It is yours. Take it.'" The archangels shift around her, creating a circle. Michael places his hand on your shoulder. Oh, if you could feel the weight of that touch, you would know how many battles he has fought for you. I have bled in the unseen to keep this moment alive, he says. Do not let it pass as if it were nothing. You have been taught to doubt, to delay, to assume there will be another time. But I tell you, there will not be another time like this. Beloved, there is a reason the warfare has been so relentless around you. The enemy knows what is inside your calling. It is not just about you, it is about every life that would be changed if you stepped into it. That is why shadows have risen. At your every step, why betrayal has come from those you trusted, why your own heart has been tempted to believe you are too broken, too late, too small. These are the strategies of one who cannot win if you stand, but tonight is not a night for shadows. Tonight is a night for light. And not the light that simply shines, it is the light that breaks chains, that burns away the residue of years, that speaks into the marrow of your bones and says, "You were always more than you thought." Do you know what it cost heaven to bring this to you? Michael left the front lines of a war older than the earth. Gabriel delayed a message meant for the rulers of nations. Raphael left 1,000 healings in other hands. Each of them chose to be here, because you are worth it. There is no crowd watching from behind you. There is no one else in this room but you and heaven. Every breath you take is matched by the breath of the one who formed you. Every heartbeat is in rhythm with the seven standing before you, and now, the seal trembles. The cracks are threads of light. Once they meet, it will open, and what is inside will not wait. Beloved, will you open your heart before it breaks? Will you let this moment mark you forever? Because if you do, the war will shift. The darkness that has circled you will retreat. And the destiny that has waited in silence will begin to speak. Heaven's eyes are on you now. Not in judgment, in hope, in love, in the longing of a family that has waited for their child to come home. We are here. We will not leave. But the next step is yours. Type Amen once, with the reverence of one signing their name to a covenant. Like and comment so that the courts of heaven see your answer. And know this, when you do, something will move in the unseen that even the oldest enemy cannot stop. You are loved beyond measure. You are worth every tear, every battle, every delay. And tonight, you are seen. Thank you for letting us stand before you. Thank you for not turning away. And thank you for being exactly who you are, because who you are is exactly who heaven has been waiting for. ***, beloved, everything has paused for this. The constellations hold still in their slow turn, the waves in the eternal sea of glass are frozen in place, and even the breath of heaven feels suspended, not in fear, but in longing. Because the hour is here. And it is only for you. I do not say that lightly. I, Jesus, speak not into the crowd, not into the ears of those who are simply curious, but into the marrow of one who was spoken into existence for a reason too deep for the world to name. It is you who carries this pattern of light, this hidden thread woven into the beginning of all things. And now the thread has been pulled to the surface. The seven stand around you, their presence heavy as mountains and yet tender as the first wind of dawn. Michael's sword is not raised, it rests, point down, the steel still warm from wars you never saw. Gabriel's voice is silent for now, because the message that matters is already pressing into your spirit, deeper than sound. Raphael's hands shine faintly, for the wounds you thought permanent are throbbing with the first ache of being healed. Uriel's gaze does not move from you, because he has carried the record of your destiny through corridors of time and will not let it be touched. Ragel's stance is immovable, for injustice still claws at the memory of your life and he stands ready to answer it. Sarakiel's breath is like a low song in the air, steady, unbroken, wrapping you in something older than fear. Ramil's tears are falling to the ground at your feet, each one a prayer you once thought lost. You do not see them as the earth sees warriors, you see them as they are when they stand before the throne, fierce and luminous, yes, but also pierced by the same ache that runs through all of heaven tonight. Because this moment is not simply a mission, it is the culmination of years, of centuries, of eternity's own patience. Beloved, you have been chased by shadows for reasons you do not yet understand. This is the war you have not seen, the kind that weaves itself into disappointments, missed timings, words spoken over you that bent your spirit down, faces you trusted turning away. It has not been random. It has been precise, calculated. Because there is something you were born to carry, something the darkness cannot bear to see opened, and yet, here you are. Still breathing. Still standing, even if the standing feels weak. And the seal, oh, beloved, the seal is before you now. Older than the oldest tree on your earth, older than the mountains that have never been moved. It was set when your name was first breathed by my Father. It is not made of wax or stone, it is made of the living wool of heaven. And for all the ages it has been guarded, it has never been as close to breaking as it is now. You can feel it, can't you? That vibration beneath your ribs, as if some part of you remembers what's inside. You have dreamt of it without knowing. You have felt its absence in moments you could not explain. Mary steps forward now. The light around her is not a glare, it is the gold of a homecoming, the warmth of a place you've never been but somehow miss. Her eyes are on you with the kind of love that carries both joy and grief. She has waited for this longer than you can measure. And she holds something, small enough to fit between her palms, yet vast enough to shift the course of your days. She says your name. Not the one others use when they call you in the world, but the one heaven knows, the name that will echo when you stand in the final light. And she says, "Child, it is time." Her voice does not tremble from doubt. It trembles from the immensity of what she is placing before you. For she knows, once this is given, it cannot be taken back, and the path before you will change. Michael kneels now. You have never seen him this way, not in vision, not in dream. His head bowed, his hand on the hilt of his sword, his voice low. "I have fought for you in places no human eye can see," he says. "I have stood when the tide rose against your name. I have taken wounds meant for your soul. And all of it was so you could reach this day. You may think you are unready, but beloved, readiness is not the measure. Willingness is. And the willingness to open this moment is the single step that will align you with the very reason you were sent here." The seal shivers again. The light along its edges is no longer steady, it flickers, as if urging you forward. When it breaks, the contents will not spill slowly. They will flood. And once released, they cannot be gathered back into waiting. This is why heaven leans in now, because the instant is coming when the choice will pass, and with it, the shape of your tomorrow. All of heaven is silent. No voice from the seraphim, no song from the elders. Only the sound of your breathing. Because you are the only one who can answer this. Not with words on your tongue, but with the opening of your spirit, beloved. I have seen the weight you have carried in secret. The nights you pressed your own heart into stillness so you would not feel too much. The mornings you walked forward with a smile you did not believe in. I have seen every tear, and I have counted none of them wasted. They are here, with you now, in the hands of Ramiel, ready to be returned as something entirely new. The seven have not left your side through the darkest turns. Even when you thought heaven was silent, even when you thought I had stepped away, they were there, holding the line. The battles they fought for you did not always end in the way you wanted, but every one ended in the way you needed, and now, you stand at the line between the life you have known and the life that was written. Before the first sunrise. There is no fear here, only the knowing that what comes next will cost you something, but will also give you what nothing else ever could. Do you feel it? The shift? That is not emotion. It is the bending of the air around your soul, the pull of the eternal toward the moment of decision. Beloved, this is your hour. The seal waits. Heaven watches. And I will walk with you through whatever comes when it opens. The light that surrounds you now is not the cold brightness of the sun. It is alive, breathing, pulsing with the heartbeat of heaven. It does not fall upon you from above, it rises from beneath your feet, as though the ground itself remembers who made you and is rejoicing in your return to this moment. Every breath you take draws that light deeper into you. It brushes the edges of your soul where darkness has tried to linger. It touches wounds you have forgotten but never truly healed. It seeks out the broken places, not to expose them, but to cradle them in something older than pain, something that remembers what you were before the breaking. Michael's voice comes again, but softer now, so that you have to lean toward it. You think we protect you because it is our duty, he says. No. We protect you because the thought of you being lost is unbearable to us. His eyes lift to meet yours, and for a moment, all the wars he has fought are in them, the clash of light and shadow, the storms that roar between worlds, but more than that, the fierce tenderness that nothing can take from him. Gabriel steps closer. His presence is like the sound of an ocean you didn't know was near until you felt the wind on your face. You were not meant to live in silence, he says. There are words written in you that have never been spoken. The world has tried to keep them locked away, but tonight they are stirring. Raphael's hands hover over you, but he does not touch, not yet. He watches the way the light is moving through you, nodding slightly, as though confirming to the others that you are ready. His voice is low, like the hum of a hidden spring. The things you thought would never be restored will be the very ground on which you stand. Uriel, whose gaze can see into the farthest ends of time, is watching something over your shoulder. He is looking past the now, into the moment where you step forward into what waits on the other side of the seal. This path has been kept hidden so the wrong hands could not find it, he says. But it has always been yours. Regel speaks with the weight of justice in his tone. Every wrong done to you has been counted. Every false word, every stolen joy. There will be no forgetting in heaven, and there will be no leaving these debts unpaid. His words are not wrath, they are promise. Sarakiel's song shifts into something almost too soft to hear. It is not a melody of this world. It moves like light through water, weaving into you without permission or resistance. You realize it has been with you before, in moments when you felt strangely comforted without knowing why. Ramiel steps forward last, his tears still falling. But now there is something in them, light, refracted like 1,000 dawns. He opens his hands, and you see what he has carried for you, prayers you thought had gone unheard, each one glowing as if newly spoken. I kept them safe for you, he whispers. Every one. And now, the sealed IT no longer simply glows, it shudders, as though some great wind from beyond time is pressing against it. The light within leaks through the cracks in narrow beams, casting shifting patterns across the faces of the seven. None of them move. None of them breathe. The moment is too sacred, you step closer without realizing it. The air is thicker here, heavy with the scent of something unnameable, like rain before it falls, like fire before it ignites, like the breath of the first morning. Mary is still holding the gift. Her hands do not shake now. She is steady, her gaze unwavering. When the seal breaks, what is inside will look for you, she says. It will know your name. If you are ready, it will come to you. If you turn away, it will pass to another. And once it is gone, it will not return in this life. Her words are not threat. They are truth. Truth that carries the weight of love that will not lie to you. You feel it now, how thin the space is between before and after. The next heartbeat could be the one that changes everything, and in that heartbeat, I speak. I am not calling you to something safe, I say. I am calling you to something eternal. You will not walk it alone, not for a single step, but you must choose to walk it. The moment is here. The seal waits. And then, the first sound to IT is not a crack like stone breaking. It is a tone, deep and resonant, as if the universe itself just sang your name. The light swells, spilling out in rivers, and you feel something. Inside you answer, something ancient, something you did not know was still alive. The seven step back, not in retreat, but in reverence. Mary kneels. And before you, the seal breaks, asterisk, the sound expands, low at first, like the earth itself groaning in relief, then rising into a tone that fills everything. It is not just in your ears, it is in your bones, in the air, in the very rhythm of your heartbeat. The seven lower their heads, and even the light around them bends as if bowing to the opening of what has been hidden for longer than the measure of time. The seal falls away not in fragments, but in petals, each one drifting downward, glowing faintly, carrying within it whispers you almost recognize but cannot yet grasp. They vanish before touching the ground, becoming threads of light that weave into the air around you. From within the place where the seal stood comes a wind, not cold, not warm, but alive. It brushes across your face and you taste something indescribable on your tongue. A sweetness that is not sugar. A richness that is not earth. It is the taste of the first breath ever drawn in creation. And then it comes into view. It is not an object in the way the world measures things. It is shape and color and sound all at once. It shifts as you look at it, sometimes like a flame, sometimes like water, sometimes like the sky at the edge of dawn. Every time it changes, a new memory stirs in you, memories you did not know you had. Standing in a place of endless fields, hearing a song with no words, looking into the eyes of one who knew you before you knew yourself. Mary lifts her head now, her gaze steady. This is yours, she says. Her voice is calm, but her eyes shine with the knowledge of what this means. It always has been. They tried to hide it, tried to bury it under years in pain, but it has been waiting for you to open it. Michael's voice follows, deeper now, resonating in the air around you. This is why you were kept alive when others fell. This is why the arrows missed. This is why the storms broke apart at the last moment. We did not guard you for survival's sake alone, we guarded you for this. The thing before you pulses. And with each pulse, the ground beneath your feet feels steadier. The shadows that have clung to your edges for years begin to unravel, retreating into the nothingness from which they came. You realize that whatever this is, it does not merely belong to you, it recognizes you. It has been waiting for you with the patience of eternity. Raphael steps forward, and for the first time, he touches your shoulder. His hand is warm, almost unbearably so, and with that touch, something in your chest unlocks. You draw in a breath so deep it feels like the first true breath of your life. Let it enter you, he says. Do not resist what you were made for. Uriel's voice joins, like the sound of a distant river that has always been flowing toward you. This will not make your path easy, he warns, not as discouragement, but as preparation. But it will make your path true. And there is no weight in this world that can crush what is true. You reach for it now, without hesitation. Your hand passes into the light, and for a heartbeat you are nowhere and everywhere at once. You see the moments of your life not as they felt, but as they truly were, each sorrow marked by a hand holding you unseen, each joy illuminated by angels rejoicing just beyond your vision. You see battles you never fought but were fought for you. You see chains that were broken before they could reach you. You see your name written in places you have never been. When you draw your hand back, you are holding something. It does not have weight, yet it is heavier than anything you have known. It does not glow as the seal did, yet light seems to gather to it. Mary rises to her feet. Guard it, she says. It is not a possession, it is a covenant. It will grow with you, and you will grow with it. There are things in you that will awaken because of this, and there are things that will fall away, never to return. The seven step in closer, their circle tightening around you. You realize now they are not only protecting you from the outside, they are sealing you in, as if the moment must be preserved in perfect wholeness until it takes root in you. Michael rests his hand lightly against the hilt of his sword. There will be resistance, he says. The moment you step back into the world beyond this, the air will shift. But you will not be alone. We will not leave you. The wind begins to fade, but the light does not. It has settled into you now, mingling with your breath, with the beat of your heart. The thing you took from the seal is no longer in your hand, it is within you, in a place no force can reach unless you open it to them. Ramil smiles through his tears. It fits you, he says simply. I am the quiet that follows. You understand, this was never about being worthy by the world's measure. It was never about achieving enough, knowing enough, proving enough. It was about being willing to step forward when the seal called your name, and now, it has been done. You are not the same as when you entered this space. The air feels different. The weight on your shoulders has shifted, not gone, but transformed into something you can carry without breaking. The seven remain, but there is a sense in them now of readiness to move. The work is not over, it has only just begun. But the beginning has been made, and heaven itself is satisfied. Jesus' voice comes one last time, not from outside you, but from within. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not what they said you were. You are mine. The light flares once more, sealing the moment into your spirit. And as it fades to the steady glow of something that will remain, you know. The seal is gone, but what it held is now alive in you. Forever, the light does not leave. It settles into you like the slow seep of warmth from a fire that has been burning since before there was time. You feel it in your bones, in the spaces between your thoughts, and the quiet pulse of your spirit. Every part of you that felt frayed now feels bound together, but not in the brittle way of something mended. It is as though you have been remade entirely. The seven stand closer, not as protectors alone, but as witnesses. Michael's gaze is steady. He does not look at the light, but at you, as if the change in you is the true miracle. Gabriel tilts his head slightly, as though listening to something only he can hear, the new sound of your life. Raphael's lips move in silent thanks, not to you, but for you. Uriel's eyes glimmer with the reflection of paths that are now open. Regel stands with his hands clasped, weighing something unseen and finding it just. Sarakiel's song has softened into a hum, almost a lullaby, weaving comfort into the air. Ramil is still crying, but now his tears fall with a kind of joy that cannot be faked. Mary steps closer until she is right before you. The space between you is full of a stillness that is not empty but alive with presence. Her hands, now empty, hover as though she might touch your face, but she holds back, not because she is unsure, but because what she has given is now part of you. It will grow, she says, not by force, but by the quiet turning of your days. There will be moments when you think it has gone, but that is when it is working deepest. Around you, the air shimmers faintly, not in the brightness of the seal's light, but in the quieter glow of something that will not leave. It moves with you when you shift your weight. You realize it is not a crown, not a weapon, not even a visible mark. It is presence, carried within and around you. And it will speak for you in places where your voice is not heard. The seven begin to move, but their steps are not away from you. They close in tighter, forming a circle so complete that for a moment, all you can see is their light. Michael speaks again, his tone low and certain. What you carry now will draw both light and shadow. There will be those who are drawn to it without understanding why. There will be those who resist it because they cannot control it. Do not fear either. We will walk with you. Gabriel's voice follows, rich as the swell of an unseen choir. When you are unsure, listen for the voice that speaks in peace, not in haste. The light within you knows the difference between what calls you forward and what seeks to pull you away. Raphael's hands hover once more, but this time the warmth is softer, gentler. Your healing will not come all at once, but you will notice it in the smallest places first, in the way you breathe, in the way you think of yourself, in the way you choose. Uriel lifts his hand as though tracing a line in the air. The days ahead will offer turns in the road. Some will look like detours, they will not be. Trust the way the light within you responds, it will lean toward what is true. Regel's eyes are steady as stone. Justice will find you, even where you have given up looking for it. Do not be surprised when wrong things are set right. Without your striving. Sarakiel's hum shifts, threads of melody that feel like the unfolding of new leaves. When you feel weary, remember the song, it is in you now. You may not always hear it, but it will always hear you. Ramil takes a step back, finally letting the tears slow. Your prayers are no longer waiting in my hands, they are moving now, finding the places they were meant to reach. Some will return to you as answers. Some will return as strength. Mary looks once more into your eyes. There is no urgency now, only assurance. It is done, she says. And it will continue. Go in it. The light around the circle shifts, and you realize it is not fading, it is going with you. The space you stand in changes, the air different, but the weight in your chest and the warmth in your bones tell you the holy place is not behind you. It has become part of you, and as you take your first step forward, the seven move with you, silent and steadfast, their presence a shield and a witness. Heaven has not just touched you, it has claimed this ground in you as its own, you do not. Look back. There is nothing to go back to, the ground beneath you changes with each step. At first it is as you remember, solid, familiar, but then it begins to shift in a way that is not physical but deeply felt. It is as though every place your foot touches wakes up from a long sleep. You sense it in the quiet under your skin. The world is aware of you now in a way it was not before. The seven keep their positions around you. They do not speak immediately, they are listening. Not to the air or the earth, but to the unfolding of what you now carry. There is a rhythm to it, a pulse, like the steady beat of a drum far away yet perfectly in time with your own heart. Michael walks slightly ahead, his gaze sweeping the horizon as though scanning for something you cannot yet see. His sword remains at his side, but there is a tension in his grip, a readiness to act without hesitation. Gabriel glances at him once, a brief exchange passing between them that needs no words. It is the look of warriors who know the road will not be empty. Raphael drifts closest to you, his presence not imposing but constant. At times you catch the faintest scent of rain in the air when he moves, a reminder of renewal. Uriel's eyes are turned not to the horizon but upward, as if reading signs. Written in places the sky hides from ordinary sight. Regel walks as though measuring each moment, weighing the unseen balance of what is and what should be. Sarakiel's hum continues faintly, threading through your steps like a lifeline. Ramil's eyes are on you more than the path, his expression a mixture of watchfulness and relief. As you move forward, the path ahead begins to shift from the ordinary into something other. It is not sudden, but it is undeniable. The colors are richer. Shadows move differently, not hiding, but reshaping as the light bends around them. You feel less like you are walking through a place and more like you are walking through a story, one that knows your name. Mary walks beside you now, her pace steady, her gaze on the road ahead. She does not need to guide you with her hand, you find that you are drawn forward by something deeper. This is not the end of the gift, she says softly. It is the beginning of its speaking. You will learn to hear it as clearly as you hear your own thoughts. The seven glance at her but do not interrupt. Their silence feels intentional, as though this part of the journey is meant to be between you and her. There will be moments when you doubt what has happened here, she continues. The world you return to will not reflect the change immediately. But do not measure its reality by what you see, measure it by what begins to stir in you. The wind changes direction. You feel it brushing past you from behind, as though it is carrying you forward rather than resisting. Somewhere in the distance, a faint sound rises, not music, but a chorus of layered tones, like the air itself is rejoicing quietly. Michael glances back at you. "The first resistance will come soon," he says simply. His tone is calm, not warning but preparing. It will not look like an enemy at first. It may come as distraction, as comfort, as something that feels easier than what you are carrying. That is when you must remember this moment. The rhythm within you grows stronger. It matches the pace of your steps now, steady and sure. You realize you are no longer adjusting to its presence, it is adjusting to you, weaving itself into the way you move and breathe. The landscape begins to change more noticeably. Trees ahead seem to lean inward as you pass, their leaves shifting in a way that is almost like bowing. The air is clearer, sharper, as though filtered through something holy. Even the light feels intentional, falling not evenly, but in ways that draw your attention to what matters in the scene before you. Mary slows slightly, letting you move ahead of her. The 7 adjust their positions subtly, closing around you. With the care of guardians who know the territory ahead is not neutral ground, Uriel speaks then, his voice low and even. "The paths will divide soon. One will look direct. One will seem longer. The direct one will feel tempting. The longer one will feel uncertain. But the light within you will lean toward the one that is true. Listen to it. You do not ask which way that will be. You already understand that this journey is not about being told every step. It is about learning to walk with the presence now inside you as your guide." The sound in the distance swells just slightly. It is not urgent, but it is drawing nearer, and you sense that whatever lies ahead will meet you before you meet it. Michael's grip tightens on his sword. Gabriel's hand rests on the hilt of a weapon you cannot see. Raphael's shoulders square, ready for whatever may come. The others shift their weight subtly, like a tide drawing back before a wave. You do not feel fear, not because there is no danger, but because the light within you is steady, unshaken. It is as if it knows this was always part of the road, and you walk on, not turning back, because the holy place you left behind is now the holy place you carry forward. The path grows quieter, though no less alive. Each step feels heavier in meaning, yet lighter in burden, as if the ground itself is carrying part of you forward. The edges of the way are lined with a mist that drifts close but never touches you, curling back at the invisible boundary created by the presence of the 7. You notice the way Michael scans the mist as though it were a living thing, his eyes sharp, his posture angled just enough to guard you without blocking your view. Gabriel walks slightly behind and to your right, his attention not on the path but on the sky above, watching for signs. Raphael's presence at your left is constant, a warmth that steadies your steps. Uriel lingers just far enough ahead that he can speak if the way changes. Ragel's gaze is fixed forward, unblinking, as though memorizing every shadow for later judgment. Sarakiel hums still, but the song has shifted to a minor tone, calm, yet aware. Ramiel watches you most of all, as if trying to memorize every way the light inside you now moves. The mist parts gradually, revealing a stretch of the road bathed in a different kind of light, softer, dimmer, but dense, as though each particle holds weight. The ground here bears faint marks, too precise to be random, patterns that seem to pulse when you look directly at them. Mary slows her pace, letting the 7 move into a closer circle around you. She does not speak, but her eyes remain fixed on the ground ahead. You sense her awareness of this place is deep, older than the first sunrise you ever saw. Uriel raises a hand and the company stops. The silence is so complete it feels as though the world has drawn in a breath. He kneels, tracing one of the ground's markings with a finger that glows faintly in the dim light. It remembers, he murmurs, not to anyone in particular. This is where the last one turned back. The words are heavy, yet not meant to burden you. Michael steps closer, his voice even. You are not them. It is not flattery, it is a statement of fact. His gaze holds yours a heartbeat longer before turning back to the path. The air grows cooler, but the light inside you pushes outward, a subtle warmth that doesn't fight the coolness but balances it. The patterns on the ground respond to it, they shift, glowing faintly, aligning with your steps. It is as if the path itself recognizes you now, adjusting to your presence. Rigel speaks, his voice firm. This is not a test of strength. It is a test of truth. The ground ahead will not hold for those who carry falsehood. His eyes soften slightly. Walk as you are now, and it will carry you. The seven move forward with you again, and as you step into the marked stretch, the mist thickens at the edges. It moves in rhythm with your breathing, drawing back when you exhale, leaning forward when you inhale, like a living thing studying you. ****, Gabriel's voice comes quietly from behind. It watches for hesitation. Do not give it the shape of doubt. You keep moving, feeling the faint hum of the ground beneath your feet. Each mark you step over fades after you pass, as though sealing the path behind you. There is no going back now, not because you are trapped, but because what was behind you no longer exists in the form you left it. The mist begins to glow faintly, not from the light of the sky but from within itself. Shapes flicker in its depths, memories, moments, faces. Some you recognize instantly. Others you have never seen, yet they stir something deep inside you. You realize these are not visions sent to guide you, they are the echoes of what the mist has seen in others who walked here. Some pressed forward. Some turned back. Michael glances at you once more, measuring your steadiness. His voice is low, meant for you alone. Every step here speaks to the seal inside you. Keep walking until the ground changes. The rhythm in your chest steadies even more. The light within responds to each step, expanding slightly, as though breathing with you. The mist no longer leans in quite as close. You feel the shift before you see it, the faint tremor of ground becoming solid again, the coolness giving way to a quiet warmth. Ahead, the mist ends abruptly, parting to reveal a horizon painted in the deep gold of a sun that is not of this world. Uriel smiles faintly without turning. You've crossed it. The others do not celebrate aloud. Their satisfaction is shown in the way their stances ease, their eyes soften. Mary's expression is one of deep peace. Few reach this side. She says simply, the ground here is open, yet you sense it is not unguarded. The air carries a hum, the same tone you heard when the seal broke, only now it is fuller, richer, as if it has found its place in you. The light ahead is not the piercing brilliance that blinds, but a steady radiance that seems to know your name. It falls on the land in a way that reveals texture and depth to everything it touches, the veins of leaves, the grain of stones, the faint ripples in the earth where wind has passed. The seven remain close, though their formation loosens. Now. Michael walks at your right shoulder, his presence like a wall that can move. Gabriel drifts a little farther back, his gaze roaming the edges of the horizon as though reading a silent script written into the light. Raphael is at ease but watchful, his eyes scanning you as much as the path. Uriel stays ahead, his movements quiet and sure, while Rigel walks as if measuring the weight of the air itself. Sarakiel's song has shifted again, this time low, steady, almost like the sound of oars in water. Ramil's expression is calmer now, though there is still a glisten in his eyes as if the sight of you walking here holds more meaning than you can yet understand. Mary walks just behind your left side, her pace unhurried. The way she looks at you carries no urgency now, only a deep assurance that what has been placed in you will do its work. Her hands are clasped lightly, the gesture of someone who knows. The moment has already turned in your favor, the air here moves differently. It doesn't push or pull, it sways, as if breathing with the land. You feel it against your skin, not as wind but as presence. Every inhalation fills you with a calm, strength. Every exhalation leaves you lighter without making you weaker. In the far distance, the path rises into a soft ridge. Beyond it, you can see only a spill of golden light that hides whatever lies ahead. As you walk toward it, you notice small flickers. Along the roadside, not flames, but bursts of pale blue and silver light, appearing and vanishing as though greeting you. They feel like markers, but not warnings, more like signs that the road recognizes you. Uriel slows his steps until he walks beside you. This part of the road will feel long, he says. It will not be because of the distance, but because it is meant for reflection. The light you carry must settle into every part of you before we cross that ridge. Michael adds, do not rush it. Speed here is not strength. The strength is in allowing each step to root the truth deeper. You notice then that the light inside you, what you took from the seal, has changed again. It no longer pulses only with your heartbeat, it has begun to weave with your breath, each inhalation drawing it further into your being, each exhalation sending it subtly outward into the air around you. Raphael speaks in a quiet tone. It is already touching the ground. Every place you walk from now on will remember you. The thought is not overwhelming, it feels natural, as though it has always been meant to be so. The ridge grows closer, but as you near it, time seems to lengthen. Not slow down, lengthen. The moments stretch in such a way that you notice more, the way the grass bends without wind, the faint shimmer in the air above the earth, the subtle hum in the stones beneath your feet. Rigel glances back briefly at the path behind you. Nothing follows, he says with quiet certainty. His words are not just observation, they are closure. Sarakiel's song grows faint, then stops altogether, leaving only the natural hum of this place. The absence of her melody is not loss, it is space for you to hear the land's own music. When you reach the base of the ridge, Uriel stops. The seven form a loose arc around you, their eyes fixed on the crest above. Mary steps to your side. From there, you will see what comes next, she says. But once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And the path will not let you walk as though you do not know. Her words settle into you without fear. The truth they carry feels like a call answered long before you arrived here. You begin to climb. The slope is gentle but steady. Each step feels as though it carries the weight of more than your body. Something in the air thickens, not to hinder you, but to remind you that what waits at the top is not ordinary. The light beyond the crest brightens, not harshly, but with a depth that makes the air shimmer faintly. You sense the 7 moving just close enough to be within reach, though none of them touch you. When you reach the top, you stop, not because you cannot move, but because the sight before you takes the breath from your chest. The horizon is endless. A sweep of valleys and rivers and distant mountains under a sky that seems woven from golden shadow. Yet it is not the beauty that holds you still, it is the certainty that everything you see is somehow waiting for you. Not as an observer, but as someone meant to walk through it. The land stretches out before you in layered detail, as though every distance has drawn closer just to be seen by your eyes. Far valleys are etched with rivers that catch the light like threads of molten silver. Hills roll into one another, their slopes marked with clusters of trees whose leaves shift with a movement you can see but cannot hear. Mountains rise beyond, their peaks hidden by slow-moving clouds the color of deep gold, but it is not the land alone that holds you still, it is the undercurrent that runs through it. You can feel it more than you can name it, a current of intention, woven into everything. The grass bends not only to the wind but to some unseen rhythm. The rivers glint in patterns that seem almost like messages. Even the clouds drift with purpose, as though they know exactly where they must be. The light at the center of it all pulses faintly. It is far enough that you cannot see its source, yet you feel its pull like a tide. It is not calling you in haste, but it is calling you. With each breath, it seems to grow more certain in your awareness, as if it knows you are standing here now, seeing it for the first time. Michael steps forward to stand at your right side. His eyes follow the sweep of the land, but you sense he is also watching the paths within it that you cannot yet see. It is not one road that leads there, he says. It is many, and they will not all be open at once. Some will appear only when you are ready to walk them. Others will vanish if you try to take them before their time. Gabriel joins him, his voice carrying a steadiness that feels like the low, constant rush of the sea. This view is not a promise without cost. What waits there will require the weight of who you truly are, not the image you've learned to carry. You will be asked to walk with the same light you hold now, even in places where it will not be welcomed. Mary's presence is just behind you. Her hands rest lightly in front of her, her gaze fixed on the horizon. There is no part of this land that will be untouched by your passing, she says quietly. Some places will bless you. Some will resist you. Some will try to forget you, but none will be able to undo what you carry into them. Raphael steps to your left, his eyes soft yet unwavering. You will find places here that will mirror your own healing, he says. They will not be marked on any map, yet when you arrive, you will know them. And in those places, what was once wounded will become strength. Uriel's gaze remains forward, though you feel his awareness on you. There will also be places that test the truth in you, he says. Not to take it from you, but to temper it. Each one you pass through will make the light within you sharper, steadier. Regel's tone is firmer. Injustice is older here than you can imagine, and it runs deep in the soil. You will feel it. You may even see it rise before you. But you will not be without answer. There are things set in motion now that will meet you in those places. Sarakiel hums again, her melody this time rising slowly, like dawn pressing into the dark. Some of what you carry will awaken things in the land that have slept for generations, she says. Do not be surprised if what rises is not what you expect. Light often calls forth what darkness thought it had buried. Remiel stands slightly apart, his gaze following the far-off light. That is where all of this leads, he says softly. But you will not reach it in a single journey. You will pass through days and nights, through places where the path seems clear and places where it disappears entirely. Yet each step will carry you nearer, even when it feels otherwise. The 7 do not speak after that. The silence is not emptiness, it is space for you to take in what you see. The air around you feels alive with the weight of what lies ahead, but it is not a crushing weight. It is the weight of a story already in motion, waiting for you to step into it. You remain at the crest for a time you cannot measure. The land below waits without urgency, the distant light steady in its call. When you finally step forward, the 7 fall into place around you without needing to speak. The descent from the ridge is gentle, but every step feels like crossing a threshold. The horizon remains before you, but now the land begins to rise and shift around you. Trees lean close over the path, their branches threading together overhead, filtering the golden light into shifting patterns that spill across your face and hands. The air here smells of rain that has not yet fallen. The ground is soft, carrying the faint vibration of movement far below the surface. It feels as though the land itself is listening to your footsteps. The 7 remain watchful, their positions shifting subtly as the path curves. You sense they are not guarding against an immediate threat, but against something that may try to approach unnoticed. Beloved, listen without turning away. The air in this place does not simply move, it carries memory, intention, and the quiet weight of what is still to come. Each step you take sends a ripple outward, touching things far beyond your sight. The 7 walk with you in perfect accord, not because you are fragile, but because what you carry now must not be left unguarded for even a heartbeat. The trees ahead sway though there is no wind, their movements slow and deliberate, as though they are aware of your presence. Patches of light spill down through the canopy, catching on the faint shimmer that clings to your hands and shoulders. It is not dust, not mist, it is the visible trace of the seal's gift, settling on you like a promise no shadow can erase. Michael keeps close at your right. His voice is low, yet it seems to vibrate in the very air around you. Every step now is an agreement, he says. The ground beneath you records it, the air carries it, and the light within you seals it. Gabriel's eyes lift briefly to the shifting patterns above. There are watchers in this place, he says, but they will not approach. The covenant you now carry is written too clearly for them to touch. Raphael's hand brushes lightly over a nearby trunk, his touch leaving a faint, luminous mark in the bark that fades as you pass. Even here, he says, the land is receiving you. Your presence is no longer hidden from it. Uriel's gaze remains fixed on a point beyond the next curve in the path. What waits ahead will not reveal itself unless you keep walking. Do not let the stillness deceive you, this place listens for your resolve. Regel's tone is as steady as stone. This is not the time for half steps. The path beyond will not open to hesitation. Sarakiel's hum shifts into a thread of melody that weaves between the trunks, soft but unyielding, as though holding the shape of the road itself. Remiel glances toward you, his eyes warm. What is in you now speaks louder than you know. It is not only we who hear it, it is the whole of this place. The path narrows, then widens again into a small clearing where the light falls in steady shafts. Here, the air seems to pause. Even the faint movement of leaves overhead stops, as though the world is holding its breath. In the center of the clearing stands a single stone, worn smooth by time yet unmarred. Etched into its surface are lines and curves that seem to shift as you look at them. Mary steps forward and places her hand gently on the stone. "This is the witness of the way," she says. "Those who come here must mark their presence, not with tools, but with the truth they carry. What you now hold within you will leave its mark without your hand lifting a finger. And as you step closer, you feel it, the light in you resonating with the stone. Not as sound, but as recognition. Something in the core of what you carry answers the stone's ancient call. The seven step back slightly, forming a circle that gives you space. Mary remains where she is, her hand still resting on the witness. When you stand here, she says, the choice you make becomes part of the path itself. If you choose to pass through this place and take the road beyond, the road will remember you. If you choose to turn away, the road will still remember, but it will remember you as one who stopped here. The air thickens around you, not with pressure but with presence. You feel the unseen eyes of this place, not as threat, but as audience. Heaven is listening. The ground is listening. The future is listening. Beloved, this is the moment where you answer. Not to me alone. Not to the seven alone. But to every part of the story that has waited for you. If your heart burns as you stand here, if you feel the truth of these words settling into your bones, then seal it in the way heaven will see. Like this message, subscribe to remain within the circle of those who walk it, and comment amen as the single word that binds your yes to eternity. Let the witness of this place record that you were here, that you chose to pass through, that you will not turn back the moment you choose. The stone shifts, not physically, but in its presence. It seems to bow, to recognize, to release something it has held. The clearing brightens, not in sudden flash but in steady rising light, until the edges blur and all that remains clear is the path ahead. Michael nods once. It is done, he says, not as an ending, but as a beginning. The seven close in again around you, not in defense but in shared purpose. The air moves once more, the leaves above rustle, and the world breathes out as if in relief. You take the first step beyond the clearing, and the path ahead curves away into light and shadow alike. The land does not promise ease, but it promises truth. And truth is what you now carry.